Hello and welcome to Lumber in Idaho. This presentation was created and narrated by Mrs. Curtis. Another industry that uses national forest land is the lumber industry. The lumber industry pays to use this land. Lumber is the fourth largest industry in Idaho. Around 1900, the timber in the Midwestern states was beginning to run out. Idaho had millions of acres of trees. A group of men decided to buy some land in Idaho. They wanted to cut the trees to make it into lumber. Paul Bunyan and his blue ox babe hauled the logs out of the forest. No one knows for sure if Paul Bunyan really existed, but tall tales about him were told around many campfires. As a matter of fact, Jim Stevens from near Weiser was the first person to publish some of the Paul Bunyan stories. Many of the loggers wished Paul Bunyan had been there to help them. It was hard work being a logger. Large crosscut saws were used to cut down the trees. Horses and chains were used to move the logs. One of the biggest problems the loggers faced was getting the logs to mills. One of the ways they would do this was to float them down the river. It could take up to 80 days to get the logs to the mills. Men would live on a boat and follow the logs downstream. They would jump from log to log to help guide them down the river. If the logs jammed up, they might use dynamite to break up the jam. It was a very dangerous job. When the railroad came to Idaho, this was important for two reasons. Millions of wooden railroad ties were needed to build the railroad. The Coeur d'Alene sawmill was the main source of these ties. The railroad also helped to take wood products to their markets. The first lumbering companies cut trees without worrying about the future. They did not plant new trees. They cut down large sections of forest. As a result, when the trees started to run out, most of the small companies began to go out of business. Many of them became a part of two larger companies that still exist today. They are Potlatch Forests in northern Idaho and Boise Cascade in southern Idaho. These companies were able to survive because they began a program where they would replant trees. They started to look at lumbering like a crop. In 1906, President Roosevelt established or set up national forest land. This was land that was protected by the government. A large fire in 1910 burned almost 1/6 of all the forest lands in northern Idaho. It also burned down a third of the town of Wallace. The fire showed everyone the importance of fire protection.